Hello YouTube, it is Championdjk coming at you again with another video, and today, of course, I've got some cool stuff to share with you. We've got some Kaido House. We're going to call this video Catching Up with Kaido because I've got a lot here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14 cars I got to open and check out. Well, these have already been opened, right? So we're not going to get any chases or anything like that, which is okay. It's okay. My buddy Jay, picked these up, all of these up, and then sold them to me unsealed cheaper. So I think he buys a few to try to see if he can get some chases, and then what he'll do is he'll move on the extras, and that's what he's done, and I don't mind that. I don't really need the chases. I really want the regular cars. I like Kaido House stuff. I'm a big fan, actually. I actually quite like it. It's one of the coolest little lines of diecast. I love Mini GT. I like the Kaido House look to them. I know they're not 1/64 scale exactly. They're a Junimai kind of work of art type of thing. And hey, we collect Hot Wheels, right? Those are not true to scale either. So this is kind of cool. This is almost like what Elite 64 Hot Wheels kind of could be, right? Something like that. I think these are fantastic. I think they're very, very cool. And we're going to take, these are like the two, I think, newest ones. So that's going to be pretty cool. We got the Larry Chen version 1. That's pretty exciting. So we're going to take a look at that, of course. Larry Chen is a famous automotive photographer. Very, very cool dude. I follow him on Instagram. It seems like he'd be a cool dude anyway. I never met him, but I bet you he'd be pretty cool to meet. So really cool, Larry Chen. And then we've got this. What is this one? It's Datsun Pro Street. I don't know. Datsun Street 510 Racing V1. I'm not sure what the livery on this means, but anyway, I like the Kaido House stuff. We're kind of going to go through it. I got the NSX. This will be the first time I'm really looking at that. So that'll be cool too. But I think what we'll do is we'll do these two last. Actually, we'll do these 3 or these 4 last because these are like the newest ones that I've got here. So we're going to set those to the side for right now. And then we're going to go through it. Let's go through it kind of by casting. How does that sound? We can start with this one here. This is a Nissan Skyline GTR R33 Kaido Works V2. This one is, it doesn't tell you what color it is, does it? But it's number 89. So we'll go ahead and open up this one. So the R33 Skyline, and here it is. Set her down there. Quite cool. So what do I like about these? Well, they got a certain style to them, right? They got a design language, and that is pretty neat. It's got the Junimai thing going on, right? The Kaido House Junimai kind of signature style. A lot of times they're going to be like Mini GT in regards to they're going to have a lot of detail. They're metal on metal. They have rubber tires. One of the cool things is they actually have alloy wheels. So like I believe the wheels are actually metal, which is really cool. A lot of the times too, they're going to have this like multicolored base here that almost looks like a oil slick. And then they'll have an opening feature, typically an opening hood. And as you can see, we have an opening hood here with quite a bit of detail on the inside. They also typically are going to have very detailed interiors as well. And he does a lot of Japanese style cars, but not all Japanese cars. As you can see, we got a Silverado right here, but mainly it's going to be Japanese stuff. He's got some new castings coming out that I'm actually pretty excited for. And like I said, I just really like the line. I don't collect every single one of them. They are a little bit more expensive than a normal Mini GT per se. So I don't really go after every single one of them, but definitely a version of each tooling is something that I would like to have. So we got that guy right there, and it's looking pretty good. By the way, inserted details for taillights and headlights and lots of nice details. So quite good. We're going to go ahead and set that one aside, and then we'll go to the 34s, I think, would be the probably the logical thing to do here, right? Stick with Skylines for a moment. So this one's number 74, this one's number 93, this one is a little bit older. So this is going to be an R34 Gretty livery, and it's a cool color. It's going to be like this color right here. Car culture for all scales. That's Kaido House. And I'm telling you, I dig them. I dig them. All right, so I think what we'll do is maybe we'll get out both of these. I'm actually going to put the packaging, by the way, I like the packaging as well. Some people might complain you can't see the vehicle, like there's no way to see the actual car through the packaging. There's no like window to view it. And yep, that could be the only thing maybe that's not the greatest with it, but I don't really need that. I think it's pretty neat. I like the box. I like how they can blind put chases in there and you don't know as well. But here is the R34. So again, more of the same in regards to the level of detail. You've got the taillights that are inserted in there. You've got the Kaido House style. This one has kind of a ridiculous body kit on it, wide body kit. And then you will have an opening hood. If we can get this one open. And actually, let's set it right there for a second. Let's open up the other one. This is the Hornet. Anytime, baby. So this one is pretty nifty. We'll set that one down there. So here's the Hornet. This one's got a little bit of packaging rib on the roof, right there. Don't like that, but that's too bad. But yeah, we have this guy, the Hornet. This is a really cool looking one. So you got the carbon fiber weave. And there, the wheels are white. Nice details. The only thing rough about this one is the roof of the car has got like kind of some scratching and stuff on there, which is unfortunate. And then we can open up the hood maybe. Yeah, do the this thing. There we go. It's a good way to get the hoods open on these things. There's a view of the engine. Pretty neat. I suppose we could do it with this one too. Yep. There's the engine there. So same like engine bay thing going on here. This one's got the yellow inserted headlights. And all in all, I'm going to say I like the way this one looks a little bit better. I'm just a little bit perturbed about the scratching and stuff on the top. You can't see it maybe as much on camera. In person it's pretty visible. Too bad, but that's all right. Decent anyway. I'm still happy to have it and have it in the collection. This isn't one I would have normally purchased, to be honest with you, because I already have a version of this casting and I don't like it enough to try to get all of them, but I had to get at least one version of it. And actually I'm really glad that I got these two now as well. So, very cool. We got the R34. So we did the R33. We got the R34. Let's go ahead and, well, actually, let's just set these. Which one do I like better? I think I like the Hornet better. We'll take that one. And then let's get into the Fairlady Z, which the Fairlady Z might be my favorite casting. So far. And actually, hang on. We're not going to go into the Fairlady Z because we're going to go into that when we get into that guy there. So maybe what we should do is do the 510 wagons. Let's do that. We'll put this there. Let's put an example of the R33 behind there so you can see those. And then we'll do the 510 wagons. So we've got number 76 and number 62, Kaido House. The 510 wagon. So this was, I believe, the second casting to come out from Kaido, and it's a really cool one. So it's very similar to the 510, obviously, because it's a 510. It's a 510 wagon, but of course the wagon version, and we got this one in purple, which actually looks really killer. I never picked this one up before now, and it's actually really neat. Again, these are going to have an opening hood with engine detail, details up front. I mean, they're just little works of art. So I really like them. Green, that's weird. Green taillights. Pretty sure that's not street legal. And then, of course, the alloy wheels, lettering on the tires, detail, so much detail on the interior, the roll cage, all of that. Just really, really cool. Purple, looks pretty awesome. So this is just, I mean, it does something that no one else is really kind of doing. It's kind of Hot Wheels-ish, right? Similar. This would be the ulterior to that one. So you had the purple one with the 23 and then the green one with the 23. And honestly, I kind of like the green one better looking at these right now. I don't know. And again, I didn't pick up these initially because I already have a few examples of the 510 wagon. So I wasn't trying to get them all. And like I said, they can get up there in price. So sometimes you can find them for like 15 bucks each, but really they're usually about 20, 25, somewhere around there. And they're definitely worth it. I mean, they're very, very detailed. If you don't care about the fact that they're not exactly 1/64 scale, then if you don't give a rip about that, then these things are definitely cool. Just definitely really cool. And I'm sure they got to be a little bit bigger than 1/64 to pack this much detail in these models and make it really visible and give it some impact. So I really like these. I like the 510. I've got a few different examples of it in my collection, quite a few. And now we've added 2 more, and I'm not upset about that in the least. So not upset about that at all. All right, so what do we have left? We've got, of course, we have to do the Fair Ladies. We've got to do the 510s. We got the new NSX casting. I think what we should probably look at real quick here. Let's look at, by the way, these all roll really well as well. So if that's something you care about, the rolling, then Kaido is also, it also checks that box, right? So pretty nifty. I'm actually going to do this. We'll put this behind this one. I'm keeping them kind of organized here. You know, for what reason? I don't know. But yeah, maybe we could do this. Now we're getting a little too much into it. All right. The Silverado. This is a cool casting. So we've got the Kaido House. This is 99 Chevrolet Silverado Kaido Works version 2. So there's a couple different versions. I think there's like a dually version. This one is not that. And I don't know what the different versions are, to be honest. I'd have to put them all side by side, all the ones I've got. Man, this thing looks awesome. So yeah, this one is killer looking. I should have just picked this one up right away, and I didn't. But love the wheels on these. Again, they roll. Good color combination. These are going to have, the Silverados, I believe, have an opening hood. Very cool. And then also a drop down tailgate. This one also has a trailer hitch. These things roll. It rides really low. You've got inserted details for the front end here and for the rear, and this one looks really darn good. So these are so good in hand. These are very fantastic. Like, pictures don't typically do them justice. Once you have them in hand, you feel the weight of them, how much metal is there, and just how, I don't know, they just look cool. They are cool. I am a fan, obviously, you know. So very, very neat. So there's your Silverado. We're going to set him right over there. The next one we'll check out is the NSX. So this is like a brand new casting, or newish. I don't know how many colors this came out in. I got the one in red here, and I got this one also from, I got all of these from my buddy Jay, by the way. So these are all extras. And again, I don't really care about chases. I have one Kaido House chase in my collection that I pulled in a box at random. And that was pretty cool to get. I was pretty stoked on that. I thought it was pretty neat to get it, but again, it's not like I would go after and try to collect all these chases. Of course, the chases are probably going to be worth something. Who knows? But, you know, long term. But I had to get a version of the NSX, and this thing is really cool. So you got, again, you got inserted details for the headlights. You got inserted details for the tail. Again, it is a wide body kit, kind of work of art here. Very, very cool. Does this one have an opening feature? You know, I don't think I've messed with this one at all. Trying to open this casting, right? This is new. Actually, full disclosure, I did pull this thing out. There we go. To take pictures, take a quick picture of it, and it does have an opening. Look at that. Two-piece opening thing. Look at, there's the engine. It's got the transparent piece that plops down, and then the window that plops down. It almost looks like these headlights should move up and down, but I don't think, oh my gosh, they do. Well, look at that. They just pop up a little bit to give you that little headlight. That is actually really cool, and I did not know it did that, honestly, until just now, that the headlights pop up. And they don't pop up far. That's how they pop up right there. That's part of the style. You just push them right down. But they have that little lever right there, which is a classic kind of Tomica pocket car style headlight popper-upper lever. And there you go. Okay, that is super cool. This is a really cool casting. So, yeah, I quite like this one a lot. I think it looks really good in red. Probably get at least one other version of it as they come out. But again, have to get a version of every single casting. Would I like to collect every single Kaido that ever came out? It would be cool, honestly, to have put together an entire collection of them. I think would be really awesome, and it would be quite a challenge because they have the black limited models, which are ridiculous, and then if you ridiculously expensive, and then if you want to put together chases for all these models, again, that would be a very difficult thing to do too. I think that would be kind of an achievement style collection, though. If you wanted to like focus on one thing, Kaido could be the thing. You could spend a lot of time and money collecting Kaido House and kind of getting, you know, getting everything, trying to get all the chases, you know, all that stuff. It could be something that you could spend a lot of time having fun trying to collect. So very neat. I'm obviously not going to do it. That would be nuts. But every time I get like a group of cars like this, and I get a group from one manufacturer, one brand, it tempts me. It honestly does. I'm like, how hard would it be to get all of them? It would be very hard. Very, very hard. So here's a Pro Street 510. This is the casting that started it all. This is not the version of it, but this would be the first. The Pro Street 510 would be the first casting that Kaido ever released. And I've got it here in a gray. It looks pretty nice and G-ready. G-ready. Looks pretty good in gray, and again, we got the same kind of thing going on. This is the Pro Street 510. You get the inserted details for the headlights, inserted details for the taillights, details all over the place, an opening hood with details under there. It's just, I don't know. It's hard to, and I get it that this isn't everybody's cup of tea, but honestly, it's kind of difficult to argue with the cool factor of Kaido. Like, if you're telling me that this isn't cool, you know, maybe you're too old. I hate to say it like that, but that kind of what I think. Like, I don't like purists, okay? I'm not a big fan of purists, you know, that are just like, oh, it's got to be this pure stock thing to be cool. Not a big fan of that. I think there's a place for it all. Modified stuff, you know, pure stock stuff, straight 164, not quite 164. There's kind of just a place for all of it. Maybe I like too many things. I don't know. This is HKS. Again, alloy wheels. Look at the green headlights. You know, so, and like, that's part of the reason why I like Liberty Walk a lot too. Like, I tend to really like their cars. it's not like a hype thing for me. I just kind of like the style. I'm a fan of it. I like the, I'm excited for that new the new Countach, the new Liberty Walk Countach to come out, for someone to do that. And I think Mini GT is going to do it. So, I was excited for that. I like the Liberty Walk F40, the Ferrari F40. I think it's just cool. I don't know. Because I am a cars as an art form kind of collector. And not to sound like snooty or snobby or like I'm a fine art collector or anything like that. It's not what I'm trying to be or trying to get at here. I just, cars as an art mean more to me than cars as performance, okay? Like it's the way I'm wired, the way I am. I don't drive a fast car, but I do like fast cars and I like the way they look, okay? So then we got this one. This is the Datsun 510. This is the 510 Street Nismo V1. This one is, oh, come on. This one's the Simpsons one. Totally looks like the Simpsons mobile, right? So it's the same casting. This one's got a little package rub up here though as well, which is too bad. So, storing your Kaido House, I don't know, what causes that? Let's take a look at the package. Because, it puts pressure on it. I think the problem is if there's, like, dust in here, and it rubs tight up against the roof of the car, I think that's when you're going to get your issues. I mean, that could have happened at the factory, maybe. We've got two of them now with kind of like rub wear from the packaging, and it looks like it could have almost started on the front of the car too. Don't know. May have to investigate further. I don't know, but anyway. Normally I would think that these blisters would be totally safe to store the car in and not have any issue, but who knows. But anyway, this does have a little like clear coat rub. You can't really see it unless you look at it in an angle, but it's there. It's there. Could I polish that out? Yeah, maybe. This one I might be able to. But again, opening hood, looking good. Inserted details, the Simpsons car. I mean, it looks totally like the Simpsons car. It just doesn't have the crunched front end. Should have made one with a crunched front end. Wouldn't that have been fun? All right. So, last 510 Pro Street thing. This is the Racing V1 Pro Street in Nismo. And let's free this from its packaging. Now I'm like looking at the top for rubbing. This one, see, it looks like it almost would start there, but it's not there. And look at this guy. Pretty cool. One yellow headlight, one clear. Details in the back. The livery is what kind of makes this one. I like it, the black, white, and red. I think that's a good look for this car. And it does look pretty fantastic. And then, of course, you've got the that guy right there. So, I mean, let's be honest. This, for June Mai, was probably a pretty bold move, right? And I'm sure for him it's paid off. Like, to go and say, I'm going to leave Hot Wheels, where I was gaining pretty much a lot of notoriety and somewhat fame, I guess, from Hot Wheels designing, and go do something on my own. Not really, well, with Mini GT, I guess. Here we go, the Fairlady Z. This is my favorite casting. My favorite tooling so far, because I'm a sucker for a Fairlady Z. And this casting is just sick. But yeah, to go ahead and be like, you know what, I'm going to do that. I'm going to go on my own as this Kaido House design and just come out with these. And I don't know, maybe he does other things for... This thing's cool because it's got like a little space right here so you can poke something through to get the hood open, because the hood opens backwards from a normal hood, I guess. There's the engine. But yeah, to go ahead and just be like, you know, I'm going to go do this. And, you know, I have no idea how it worked financially. But I got to imagine, I mean, they're still putting out tons of stuff. I got to imagine they're popular. They have to be selling somewhat well. I'm sure some sell a lot more than others. Some cars, like maybe when it gets to like the 5th release or so of this, you know, maybe it's not going to sell as well because we've had other options to choose from. Some of the liveries, I will say, are a little bit bland. Like this Motul one, it's not really my thing. This one, see, and obviously it's not because I didn't just go and try to pick it up immediately when it came out. This is the other one that I got here. This is the number 79. And this one, I mean, it looks pretty cool, but it's not nearly as cool as the first couple of releases of this car, which one was like a blue and one was like a cola color. It was really, really beautiful cars. But yeah, still pretty cool. This Fair Lady Z. Again, you know, designed by June, essentially put out by Mini GT. I don't know what kind of quantities they're made in, as far as if they're limited or what, but I bet you they're kind of limited. They don't put out numbers or anything, but they're going to be more limited than a Hot Wheels, right? All right, and lastly, we've got this one, the Larry Chen Fair Lady Z, and this should be basically just an orange version of that casting with a body kit, and basically the same as the casting we just looked at, except it's going to be orange, and here it is right here. So this is like if Larry Chen grabbed his OGZ and tricked it out, right? So no packaging rub on this one, but it's got like the oil kind of residue on there, and actually it does have a little bit on there. So I guess that would be my one request. There's Larry right there. So I guess that would be my one request of Mini GTs, kind of like what's going on with that. So I've noticed that on a couple of models here. I think I've noticed it on a couple of mine in the past, and I don't know what that is, but I don't like it. But yeah, pretty cool. But that's it for this one, man. Just catching up with Kaido. We're looking at a few Kaido House and kind of admiring the art of it. I think that it's very cool. Again, I don't know how many times I can say that, probably a million. I think these are neat, and I will continue to get new castings as they come out. And any Kaido I can get cheap, like if I don't already have it and I can get it like less than the retail price, I mean, I have a hard time not going for it. And that's why he got me with these, you know. So, all right. So thanks again, you guys. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate all of that. This was a long one. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think. What are your opinions of the House of Kaido? I enjoy it, as previously stated. All right. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.